Welcome to another episode of the Bussin Spring Football Tour. Alabama fans, the emotional maturity that you're about to hear from both Tyler Booker and Jalen Milroe does nothing but fire you guys up. Whatever culture building happens at Alabama, it's why they're one of the most premier schools in the country. Talking with Tyler Booker, we talked to him about being an IMG athlete, growing up through that, what IMG offers, the head that this kid has on his shoulders. I don't know if he fakes it in the camera, it's different off camera, it doesn't seem like it, but it's incredible. We talked to him and Jalen Milroe both about the culture differences between Coach DeBoer and playing under Coach Saban, the new wrinkles that Coach DeBoer's brought, some fun stories about Coach Saban, and Jalen Milroe as well, talking to him about how he was committed to Texas, decommitting and going to Alabama. That's a funny process, some of his favorite moments. You guys are going to love these conversations. If you're an Alabama fan and you're new to Bussin with the Boys, the Spring Football Tour, we sit down with coaches, or we sit down with the head coach, that'll be on the episode tomorrow, and we sit down with players to talk about the ins and outs of their journey, why they chose their school, and a whole lot of fun inside. You guys are going to enjoy it. Again, make sure you comment, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you're brand new here, subscribe to our channel for us. The support means the world. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Enjoy these interviews.
Katy, Texas.
That's right.
Did you guys ever play the team from Friday Night Lights?
No.
7 hours.
Did you guys ever play?
No, that's far away. That's out the way. We ain't played
7 hours. I looked it up on the drive over here.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
Yeah, it ain't near me.
Yeah. What But why do I know the name Katy, Texas? Like what?
I have
Andy
went down
Dalton.
there?
Andy Dalton played at Katy High.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
like Katy High is like a powerhouse in Texas, and they play like nationally, and like they probably like one of the best teams in the country.
Really?
And so that's where they like get the a lot of light, because like they play really good. And then we played them actually in high school. So when I was in high school, we lost to them freshman year, my sophomore year, junior year we beat them my senior year of high school. But what's funny about it is that the last time they lost a district game, I was in kindergarten. That was the last time they lost a district game. So like since then they've been undefeated in district. And then boom, like they take off in playoffs, and like they either go to state or like lose in like the 5th or 4th round. So like they real good, bro. Like real good, yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Growing up in Texas,
Yep.
you obviously have the Longhorns there.
That's
And
right.
I feel like everybody loves the Longhorns
Yep.
there. And you're going through your entire process while Alabama.
I'll be honest. During the process, initially, the biggest thing you want to look at is your family. And like, what is the best decision for yourself, but also your family. And, Texas was an option, and then was an option, staying close to home, which is Houston, staying there. And I was committed to Texas for 2 years. And the biggest thing I had to get out of my way was setting up my next 40 years in my life. Not just worrying about the present tense, but looking at the future. And when it came to it, everyone's going to sell you a dream. I mean, you come here, we're going to develop you, and we're going to put you in position to do this, this, and this. But like, not the hard questions are, how you going to set me to set up and provide for my family in one day? Like, that's the biggest thing, And then, of course, you can talk X's and O's and being developed and stuff like that. But Coach Saban, during the process with Coach Saban, I was committed to Texas, but I was taking calls, I was answering people, and Coach Saban was one of them. But one thing that stuck out to me was during the process or whatever, Coach, we would FaceTime or whatever, and he told me, hey, like, during the draft, when Tua gets selected, I'm going to call you. I'm like, man, you ain't going to call me, bro. What you talking about? Like, you ain't going to call me. So what? So with the whatever pick, Saban called me and said, hey, you come here, this will be you in the next, so I was a junior in high school, this will be you in the next 5 to 6 years. I said, I'm committing. Like there's no question. Like, I'm committing. Like, there's nothing. You ain't got to sell me nothing. That's what I want to do.
And he's at the draft.
He's at the draft, bro. He's
FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Right.
It was a FaceTime? It wasn't just a
bro, it
audio
was
call?
FaceTime. So I seen his face. Like, he was like that. So I'm like, man, I'm laughing. Like, yeah, that's right. Nah, he was serious. Like, talking about a bold face, talking about my next future and, what all need to be done, all that stuff. Then he gave me, like, his dad talk. Then he gave me the coach talk. Like, I'm like, man, like, this is the place I need to be at. And so this is why I'm committed to Texas. So, man, like, I silent committed. No one know that, but I silent committed to Alabama, like, before I even posted it. So, like, I was committed for Alabama, like, for a while. And so, shoot, it was like a little thing like that. And then it was like talking about my future, talking about, why is this the best option and being developed and stuff like that. And then the resources was wearing the A. Like, there's nothing like greater than that A logo. Like I know you went to Michigan. I know all that good stuff, but like, dog, like that A is special, bro. Like, you can be in Paris and someone see that A, they know what it is. Like, and then just the networking that comes with it, you know. And so there's a lot of things that took place to, you know, committing here and being here. But I think that's one example that I have that will always be special.
When you get sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about that silent commit for a second.
Yeah.
So you get that phone call from Saban. Did you silently go, okay, I'm going to Alabama?
To him on the phone?
Oh, no. So like
you hang up the phone
on the Longhorns.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Alabama.
Oh yeah, I was cheating. Yeah,
And they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know at all.
They didn't
And
know.
then you had to go up to them and
So,
quietly
like,
break
my
up.
But when you get off the
Yeah.
phone and you're talking to your family, what's
Yeah.
that conversation taking place?
Well, the thing was that, like, I had to think it through. You know, you don't want to make an emotional decision during the process, and so, you know, I'm talking to them and I'm telling them, you know, hey, I'm committed to Texas, but like my options are open. And, you know, my biggest thing is when I decommitted from a school, I wanted to commit automatically. So like I didn't want to decommit and then I'm just sitting there like with no option, because during my time, like, a lot of guys were committing quick. Like every big school in the country all had to commit at every single school. And so like they were waiting for that next quarterback in each class, whether it's taking 2 quarterbacks or 1 quarterback. And Alabama was one of the school that were only taking 1 quarterback. So like they needed to know an answer, because they'll go right there to Louisiana and go get them a quarterback. You know, so they needed a quarterback, and you know, they were vocal with that. But I think, you know, of course, I thought it through. My parents looked at it and stuff like that. And what I mean by silent commit is like you tell the school you committing to them and say, I'll figure out the rest of it. So like my job is locked. Like when we look at the class, like you can have 25 people in the class. I was one of them, a part of Alabama. I told them, like, hey, like, I'm thinking about coming here. Like, just hold my spot.
Did Texas drop the ball?
Huh?
Did Texas drop the ball anywhere?
Yeah, they did. You know, yeah. It was some things during, you know, the process that was that I needed to look at. The you know, that was best for my future. I think Alabama was the best.
Yeah.
You legit, like, yeah. Sound like you just had a side chick and you were like, all right, be cool. I'm gonna date you. I just gotta handle a couple things.
Stay quiet.
I gotta handle a couple things over
Stay
here.
quiet.
Once I take care of that, hey, look at me. I promise I'm gonna be with you.
Take us through your first couple of years at Bama, like getting to learn from somebody like Bryce Young.
Yeah. For me, coming into college, it was a great opportunity for me to get better. I think that was, you know, people have different mindsets when they come to college. Man, I want to play straight right away. I want to be the best me. When in any form and fashion, I want to be the best Jalen Milroe I can be. Whether it was academics, whether it was getting my body in shape to be in the position I am today, whether it was having more knowledge of football, I was trying to be my best me. And so whenever my time was right to be on the field, it was that time. And so I wasn't pressuring the coach to, hey, play me. That's not my job. You know, I let my actions speak louder than my words, you know. And so to speak about my time here, I think it's been humbling. Just the what all goes into being an Alabama quarterback, you know, in every form and fashion. You know, we had different guys stepping in the role of a quarterback, you know, going from, you know, Mac Jones to Tua, Jalen Hurts, Bryce, they're all different. All those guys are different, and it's okay. And there's no certain right way to play quarterback position. Everyone's different. You know, we look at the NFL, it's the same way. The top guy in the league might be different than the 32 guy, you know, and that's okay. But to speak about my time here, it's been great. It's been great to see what the resources of the A and what it has. The people that you meet along the journey. Sure, I met Michael Jordan a few days ago, so look at that. Just wearing the A. That's like it's been great. So it's been a lot of positive more than the negatives, I can say. And it's been humbling, and it's been a great experience throughout the process. But for me, I just learned so much about myself, and so much more that I have in stored just being here and just meeting a lot of great guys.
You said it was such a humbling experience. Like, you know, if you're getting offers from Texas and Alabama and all these other schools, like, you've been the man since you've put a football in your hand. Like, you've always been the star of the show. You come
Buddy
here.
cleans like 400 pounds.
Buddy, I see his shoulders. Like, what do you mean? That's a warm-up set. That's crazy. But you, like, you're the man. Like, you've been the man everywhere you've gone. Now you get to Alabama and you're riding the pine for a little bit. You're on the bench and you're like, if you talk about the humbling experience, like, at any point where you're like, I might have to get out of here. Maybe I made the wrong mistake. Maybe I made the wrong choice coming here. Was there ever a feeling like that?
I could truly say that I wouldn't change anything about my time in college. I'm glad it happened. Everything that took place while I've been in college, I'm appreciative of it, and it got me better. But to answer your question, you know, I gave a commitment to my parents before I left text, and I told him that I'm gonna get my degree from Alabama. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I'm the 4th string, 3rd string, the starter. No matter what, I'm gonna get my degree. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to do that this past December. So that's one of the accomplishments that I had. Now I'm working on my master's. So my parents, I'm gonna get my master's from Alabama. And so it just little things that I had for myself, whether it was short-term goals, long-term goals, that I know that I needed to achieve to be where I'm at in the future. And so there was nothing that was going to take me away from that. And so it's just like little goals that I have for myself, and just being determined and then just believing in myself.
I'll tell you what, you guys do a good job with your young men with aspirations beyond the football field. Congratulations on that too.
I appreciate you.
You did have some adversity of your own this past year. You have the USF game comes up.
Yep.
You're the starting quarterback. USF game happens. Then you go to a backup role. Talk about your process trying to, because as athletes, man, when you take an ego shot like that or an ego hit, it's hard to it's the process. It's not the results. Staying in it. Be where your feet are. Hey, a next opportunity is going to come.
Absolutely.
Talk through that adversity for us until you got your next opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a process. I think that's one of the greatest things that could have happened to me was that time right there. And I learned a lot about myself, and I learned about how to truly get through adversity. A lot of people can see adversity and fear from it. And I changed my perspective and face everything and rise. And throughout that journey, all I did was lean on my supporting cast that's around me and not any external factors. Because when you look at external factors, they can waver you away from your goals. And that was something that I took pride in, was not really looking at external factors and not worrying about, things that I can't control. And during that time, you can look at a lot of things that are uncontrollables instead of the things that are controllable. What I can control is my attitude around my teammates. What I can control is how long I'm in the film room. I can control what I'm eating in my body. I can control how prepared I am if I was going a game. I can control, how great of a teammate I am throughout the process. There's a lot of things I can control instead of the uncontrollables. And the uncontrollable was the decision to bench me. And I look at the controllables, and I look at, how can I benefit from this situation? And to look at it, there's some things that I did to improve as a player, improve my mindset, strengthen my mindset, see who was truly for me and not against me. So I learned a lot through that process, but I can truly say that I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it took place because it benefited me in the long run.
I'm blown away, man.
Yeah.
It is wild. You and Book, the way you guys sit, present yourself, the way you guys speak on everything, it's truly impressive to look at. But you're in a new offense.
Yep.
Let's keep with the interview going. You're in a new offense. Coach DeBoer comes in. What do you see differently going in here? Because you have a very unique skill set. You're a very elite athlete. You see yourself slinging it a whole lot more going in this fall?
I think I can do whatever I want. Whether run it, throw it, I can do whatever I want to in this offense. So if I want to choose to run the whole game, I can choose to run the whole game. If I can choose to throw this game, I can choose to throw this game. And I'm just very, confident in our coaching staff, confident in what they see in the future as far as our offense. But speak about Coach DeBoer. Coach DeBoer has done a really good job in the relationship aspect. Coach is going to coach, whether it's talking about offense, talking about defense, talking about special teams. Coach is going to be a coach. That's their job, is to be a coach and influence us in a positive way to get us to be successful in whatever form or fashion they see it as. But for me, I look at it as, he comes here. He doesn't know us. He doesn't know us at all. But he took the initiative to get to know every single player on the whole team. And then he figured out who the leaders of the team was. And the same day that he got here, he sat down all the leaders on the team, and he had a notebook and was taking notes of the comments that we had about what the standard is here, what makes up Alabama, about us as people, where we're from, how many siblings do you have, what's your hobbies, all that stuff on the same day he got here, the same day. And from there, I said, man, we got someone special. Mm-hmm. He truly cares about us. He truly cares about the program in itself, And that was my initial thought process on Coach DeBoer. Talk about the coach aspect of it. He's offensive minded, so it's really good for me as a quarterback to be under him. He does a lot of great stuff on offense. For me, I'm a student of the game, so I like to look at where he's been at. And whatever quarterback they have is really explosive in the passing game. And he does a really good job on offense and, with the concepts and stuff like that and all the different things that take place with the offense. So that's been great. And then also he's withholding what the standard is at Alabama. It's a big program to step into, and it just shows who he is as a person to step in this leader role as our head coach. So it's been great. It's been great to have him here. And we're just in May, and we just all believe in him.
Well, same question that we had for Book, like him sitting down and asking what the standard is here, asking about leadership, the spots you've been in. You seem like somebody who is very in tune with awareness and being patient in times of adversity. What are qualities to you that make a good leader?
I think the quality that you have to have is you can't withhold someone into a standard that you don't have set for yourself. That's very important. I think number two, I think you have to be the same guy every single day. One day you can't be happy. One day you can't be mad. One day you can't be inconsistent of your habits and who you are as a person. And that's very important. And then you got to be driven. You got to be driven. You got to be passionate. You know, it's hard to be the man that's passionate and has goals set for themselves, because nothing that you can say, I can say, that can take this man's joy and what he has set for himself and and what he wants to accomplish. I think that's very important to any leader. They have to withhold themselves to those 3 things or 4 things I mentioned.
I love that.
With Coach DeBoer, you hear about Saban and, intimidating guy. Everything was quiet. You were quiet when the meeting room happened.
Yeah.
Coach DeBoer comes in. They got music playing before meetings. Now you're doing music at practice. Like, that had to be like a culture shock almost for you. How long did it take for you guys to get used to that?
I will say that was different. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was much different. When Coach Saban came in the room and you talking, I'd be shh, be quiet, boy. You see Coach Saban coming in here, boy. What you doing? What? You see Coach? You see Coach? Shh. You see Coach? That's the initial thought process. And so Coach DeBoer, I'm gonna be real. Coach DeBoer came in. Everybody kept on talking. I'm like, what y'all doing? Everybody kept on talking. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody kept on talking. They just laughed, kiki, and keeping on the conversation. But nothing negative. But that's just there's the difference. But I'll say, like, it's just modern. It's just modern to what it is now, as far as influencing the guys now in this generation, is that aspect of the music at practice, allowing them to be themselves on an everyday basis and not being too tight. Because when a guy is comfortable and free, that's when you can get the best out of that player. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that I'm seeing now is like, man, like, we're just cutting it loose, not being so tight as we're on the field, as we're preparing, as we're all together. I'm able to see guys' personality more. I will say that. I'm able to see that more. And I'm able to see everyone really enjoy the process and not be so hard on themselves and not be critical on themselves, because all the coaches are given the critical, which we do need, but also the positive reinforcement behind it to get us to have the right mental state to be on this journey that we're on.
What are some of your favorite memories with Coach Saban?
My favorite memory, I'm gonna be honest, like, my favorite memory, I remember at practice, man. I draw back in the pocket. They're in cover 7, man. They're covering us like nothing's open. I'm talking about it's double covered. They got the perfect call for our pass concept down the field. Nothing's open. Got a nice pass rush from the defense end. I reverse out, make a good move on him. He falls down. I'm talking about, I dropped him, dog. Like, it was a good move. Dropped him, to be honest with you. Spin out of it, dog. Took off. I'm talking about, if I clocked, I ran a 4-2 that play. Like, I took off. Man. I'm gonna be real. I was swinging the ball like bad ball security. Took off, man. And you can't hit the quarterback at practice, but I kept on running, ran straight. I finished on the opposite goal line. Right, everybody hyped up because it was like the end of practice. Like, at this time, I was the backup. So the 1s go, then the 2s go, and the 2s get the last rack at every practice. Mm-hmm. So I take off, man. Everybody celebrating on our sideline. Everybody celebrating. I'm talking about everybody jumping up with me. Coaches, man. What? I get back, I see this short man, red as can be. Coach Saban wear a hat at practice. I ain't even see his hat, dog. Like, I see his hair. Man, he ran down there, man, cussed me clean out. Said, the ball security, the ball security. I said, Coach, I just scored. He said, I ain't gonna say what he said. I don't give up. I said, wow. I said, roll tide. I walk off.
I said, roll tide.
No, yeah, that was probably my favorite memory, because I'm talking about, it's the end of practice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody juiced up. It's competitive at the end of practice. Man, it's fun. Like, 1s go, 2s go. We're man. It's competitive. Everybody's going hard. Balls to the wall. Like, everybody's ready to go. So it was a last rack, and like, it was a good play. It was the last play. We scored. It was an explosive play. And then, man, he was hot. He didn't care about none of that. He didn't care what move I made, great decision I made.
The details.
Ball security was key, man. Because one thing we talked about is the ball is the team. So Coach G, our running back coach, says ball team. It's a simple thing, but it means a lot. Ball security is very important. when it comes to winning a football game. And we talk about the 12% rule here at Bama. And when you're on that opposite end of the sticks as far as turnovers and penalties and stuff like that, you're less likely to win. And when we harp on that with the ball security, turnovers, and the penalty aspect of it at practice, because all of it's documented at practice. And so it's very important. That's me now mature wise, because at the time, man, I didn't care what he was saying. I said, I made a good play.
Yeah.
And you got to mature in that stage to understand what coach is talking about, because you're gonna benefit from it with doing the right way in the game.
Yeah. With Saban, like every Bama player you talk to, he's just like, they talk about how infamous he was for just the ass chewings he would give guys. You give a good example there. Like, what's the worst ass chewing you've heard Nick Saban give another player?
Okay, I will say this. I'm gonna be real. Like, initially, like coming to college, right? I didn't know how hard Coach Saban was. Everybody talk about how hard he was, but like one phrase he said that like never stuck with me was "kiss my ass." That was his stuff. Like, it was "kiss my ass." Like that was his thing. Like, he kissed my ass. Like, I'm like, we both like, what you talking about, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's one thing. That was his favorite word. That's how you know he hot. When he say that and slam his hat, oh yeah, you got him today. Like, he intense the rest of the day. If he hit you with that in walkthroughs, we ain't walkthrough, dog. We in period one. And he say that, oh yeah, he gonna be on us the whole day. The whole day.
Have you guys ever had an ass chewing for missing class?
I ain't like, that's like one-on-one talk. Like, you have to go to
one-on-one.
Yeah, you gonna have to get a one-on-one.
Because I always enjoy, like, you have like you have a great coach. Like, I got to play for Coach Bo Pelini, and I feel like the fellas now that were removed from it, you talk about all like the fun stories that you're telling now, but that help mold us to be who we are afterwards.
Absolutely.
And you think about times like Coach Bo would have us. We had missed class, and we're in a team meeting, and he's standing each guy up that a teacher wrote him an email on whether they were sleeping in class or being lazy in class.
Yeah.
And he would make each guy stand up and read the note. And he took this water bottle. He's like, I didn't come here to go fucking 9-3.
Ooh.
He's like, I'm not here to babysit you. You're either going to do it all the time or you're never going to do it. You don't just show up on Saturday. So I appreciate you sharing these stories, because I know people are probably watching like, damn, Saban's crazy. But those are like the things that mold you into, who you're going to be and being successful like after ball.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody gets their ass chewed. Hoke was always a guy, like, if you miss a class, do y'all have class checkers?
Yeah, we do.
Always someone there's like probably one guy.
That's right.
It's probably 5'7".
Yep.
White dude.
Yep.
We're sitting here in line.
Yep.
Guarantee every college has it. Every college has it. And he sits there. Oh, Dylan, good to see you. And you're just like, God, he's here again, man. He's always trying to classes. We had the same dude at Michigan do that, but our coach wouldn't like chew us out in front of the team. He'd just walk up and be like, 6 a.m. Walk away.
Ooh.
And so 6 a.m. you're out there doing what kind of punishments y'all have to do here? Because we had to do log rolls. You just lay down.
The pencil rolls?
You
bro.
just roll.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
Do that. Plate pushes.
Yep.
What else y'all do?
Bear crawl, leg pushes, pop-ups, like across the field. Each 5-yard line, you do a pop-up.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, you got.
We got these Turkish kiddos where you're holding a 45-pound plate and you're just 100 reps if you're late.
Yeah, that's bad.
Bro. Good times.
The worst.
Yeah,
good times. Good times now.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. We had a dirty locker room once after a game, and Coach Bo was pissed that we didn't clean up. So we had to do 300 yards of pencil rolls, the whole team, and they're setting orange cones out where everybody's throwing up.
Mm.
Good times.
Good times. We used to have to wear red shirts if guys weren't like following the standard, and a bunch of guys like missed class or something happened. So we, like, my senior year, they put us all in red shirts, every one of us, and I was full on drinking the Kool-Aid of like Michigan or die. And I was like, I'm not putting this on. So we led a revolt. The seniors led a revolt. We put all the shirts back.
Yeah, I can picture you leading a revolt.
Yeah, like, boys, we're not putting these on.
Yeah.
You can't make us put these on. We all take them off, and they actually are proud of us. So you guys working like a team.
Yeah.
That was that miracle moment. Like, who do you play for?
Yeah.
The United States of America. And they're like, all right, okay, these guys are good. It is crazy because some of the stuff you do now that you hate, when you're has-beens like me and Will, you're going to look back on it and be like, that was kind of dope.
Yeah.
Remember this?
Take us to your last play of the season.
Yeah.
You obviously have a QB design run.
Yeah.
You
4th
come
and
up
5.
short. Yeah, you come up
Call a
short.
timeout. We get a Kodak timeout.
Yeah.
You guys go, did you guys keep the same play from the timeout?
Can't tell you that, man.
It's a different offense. It's a different offense.
Can't tell you that, brother.
It's a different offense.
Can't
We
tell
were
you
in
that,
0.
brother. Hey, great. Hey.
So it was a design quarterback run with the option to throw it out to the back.
That's right.
You had the back, but
He's a gamer.
I'm saying Here's my question. I'm glad you brought this up because I really wanted to figure out a way to get here. If that snap is right at your stomach, are you throwing that out to the back?
I guess we'll never know.
All right, Kanye.
But
We'll never know.
If he were to answer like a yes, then he probably feel like he's throwing.
The center in the back.
At the end of the day, you want to make a play.
Absolutely.
What do you think about what goes through your mind when you think about that last play? Because obviously you can see the emotion on your face.
I'll be real, like that truly made me really love the coaching staff because to see how much they believe in me. This is probably one of the most impactful plays of our whole season, and the ball's in my hands the last play of the game. That speaks a lot about our coaching staff believing in me. And so I took it as a positive. Although we came out short, but after that game, when I went back to the hotel room, I reflected on the season, reflected on the game. That made me truly believe. That made me like really see how confident they were with me. And from that, you know, I remember I actually called Coach Reese and told him, thank you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, we lost, man, but like, thank you. I appreciate you. And when it went to the press conference after the game, I had my head up high because they believed in me. And that ain't the last snap I'm going to take of football. So, like, yeah, like, we want to win. We wanted to win the national championship. You know, we had goals set for ourselves, of course. And this is me speaking after the game. Of course, I had a lot of emotion, and I wanted to score. I wanted to push our team to where we all wanted to be at towards the end of the season. And unfortunately, we didn't do that. But it's like the positive. You know, that's the positive that I saw from it, man. They believed in me so much. The whole team, not just them. You know, when Coach Reese gave us that play call, no one was like, man, why are you calling that? Everyone said, I bet. No one, not the offensive line, not the receiver, not the running back. No one had any hesitation on their face. We just came up short. That's all it was. Because, like, no one, I looked at everybody's eyes. And I looked at them, and they all were confident. And that's all a part of the game. You know, you win some, you lose some. And unfortunately, we lost that one.
It was a classic game.
Yeah.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. What
yeah,
I did. Listen.
I feel you, dog.
I know,
y'all
but we were ass when I was at Michigan. We were ass.
Thank you.
And you guys were always so good. And so many times Derek would tell me how bad we were. And other Alabama guys would tell us how bad we were.
Yeah.
And so that was a sweet moment. It was an instant classic.
It
was a great game. Everyone loved it. We were laughing because I was just kind of staring off in the distance for a second.
I feel you.
It was a classic.
It was.
No, absolutely.
It was.
Absolutely.
We're done. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
No,
that's okay.
That's it.
No, because it's
right.
all good. I respect it.
What can we?
Do you think Michigan cheated?
Huh?
Do you think
It
Michigan
don't
cheated?
matter. They won.
All right.
They won. They got it.
They had your calls, huh?
They won. It don't matter. They won.
Don't worry. I'll carry that flag.
They won.
Yes, Will. He's the worst best friend you can actually ask for when it comes to fandom.
Hey, congrats, man. Y'all cheated.
He went to Nebraska. We beat them 42-7. Oof. And then when the whole cheating scandal came out, he goes, "I knew something was up."
I'm telling you, bro.
That is
Hey,
crazy.
Book, the generation Michigan beat us this year, not my senior year. Yeah, just when Taylor and I played against each other.
Don't pat my back like that. What happened the year before?
Y'all smoked us.
One of like 7
But
wins.
we
were bad then too.
Yeah.
We were terrible then.
What can we expect out of the Alabama Crimson Tide this year?
I think we're really driven. We're starving. And we're really passionate about each other. That's how I can simplify this football team, is those three things right there. And, you know, we have goals set for ourselves that we want to accomplish, but we acknowledge, you know, it's going to take place right now, what we're doing right now. What are the habits that we have right now? I think that's something that's super exciting because we're nowhere near where we want to be at, and we acknowledge that, and we're excited for what the future holds because we have a lot of tests in front of us. And so we're just going to embrace it and enjoy the journey.
Who's an NFL player you see out there that you would love to play with one day? That you'd love to throw the rock to?
Hand the ball off to.
I ain't really looked at that.
Plays for the Ravens.
I think I don't really got one.
You don't got one?
No.
You don't got cats you watch in the league?
I mean, I watch everybody. Like, for me, like, I respect games. So, like, every starting quarterback that start for each team, I respect them because it was a journey to get them to where they were at. Nothing was given to them. Nothing was handed to them. They had to earn it. And so for everybody that's a starting quarterback in the NFL, I look at their game, and that's something that I want to be one day.
Who are your top 3 favorite quarterbacks in the NFL?
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
No Joey B?
Oh, yeah. I love Joey B.
No Josh Allen?
You should start rattling off. There's only 3.
I like them a lot. I like Joey B swag. Take the football out of it. Like I like his swag. Like he's confident
He
when he
does
touch
have
the
a
field.
different. He moves.
I like
different.
that. I like how he move on the field. I like that a lot.
Who's the swaggiest dude on the team?
Swaggiest. I probably give it to the DBs. The DBs probably got the most swag, most drip. You know, they wearing unnecessary stuff like during the game. Like what do you got that on for? They talking about I put that shit on.
We got to. We're on a mission with Duke Cannon. They're a sponsor of ours to find the smelliest dude in the locker room. In your opinion, who would be the smelliest dude in the locker room?
I'm gonna be real. Like I look at the blocks in the locker room. I block clean, so like, I don't know. Like we keep it nice and clean, smell good. We keep it nice and fabuloso around our lockers, so we smell straight.
Who would you guess?
Huh?
Who would you guess?
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't know.
Book, you got thin skin?
What do you mean?
Who would you think?
That's what I'm saying. I don't hurt nobody's feelings. Yeah.
No, we appreciate it, man. Do you have anything else
No,
for
I'm
him?
good. This has been awesome, man.
Book, was there anything that when we were talking to when he went back on the depth chart, a moment that you saw out of Jalen during that time where either you guys are rallying around him or something that you saw out of him to keep him ready for the next opportunity?
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh shoot. Yo.
If you were watching the game, if you only watched Jalen, you wouldn't be able to tell that he wasn't playing. Like his energy, everything about him said that he was the guy, and that's how he carried himself. And he was supporting the other 2 guys that were in at the time. So, that was a really defining moment for him as a quarterback. And everybody was bought into him and believed in him before that. But I feel like that really just amplified our trust in him after that moment.
I love it, man. Thank you.
That's a good answer.
Fellas, thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
You got anything for us?
Huh?
You got anything for the Michigan man?
You know what? Let me ask y'all some questions.
Go ahead.
What is y'all most memorable moment in college? Each of you. What's y'all best moment y'all had in college?
Pick 6, Georgia. New Year's Day.
Okay.
They call it the New Year's 6 games, right?
Okay.
They named it that. They coined it that after my pick 6 against Aaron Murray and the Georgia Bulldogs. We went up 13-7 on them at that point.
Okay.
The end of the game didn't, reflect what happened in that first quarter, but that was probably my favorite memory. I could barely feel my body.
Yeah.
I read this screen. I picked it off, took it to the house, probably ran out like yourself a 4-2 on the way to the end zone. And that was my most hype moment probably ever playing football.
2011 playing, beating Ohio State. I went 1-3 against Ohio State. We got 1 on them.
Yeah.
In 20 years, we beat them twice.
Yeah.
Until these last 3 years. So that I got 1.
That's awesome.
I
What about
got
yours?
Most memorable?
What's been your favorite moment?
Oh, that's easy. 431. Get an Iron Bowl. That's probably my favorite one. That was a good experience.
Is the Iron Bowl just crazy week of building up to it?
I will say, like, for me, I didn't really understand the Iron Bowl. Be real with you. I'm from Texas.
Right.
And I didn't really get it until it was my opportunity to take a snap in the Iron Bowl. And, like, there's nothing that compares to it. I will say, like, that's something that rivalry I compete and say that's probably the best rivalry in the country.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's a big I'll say that because let me ask you this question: like, while you're at Michigan, how often do you see Ohio State fans as your neighbors?
They try to come in our territory.
They try.
They walk in. We got a pretty good bordered area.
Exactly. But while you're here, you're in Tuscaloosa. Your neighbor might be an Auburn guy, and that's within.
Because how far away is Auburn from here?
2.5, about 2.5, and so that's the thing. We're within the rivalry and stuff like that, and like even our professors, like they might be an Auburn grad. Like so you're gonna see an Auburn person throughout your time during the season. So like it's always that competitiveness throughout the time, and then whether it's at Auburn or whether it's in Tuscaloosa, you're gonna bring a great crowd. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be rocking, and it's nothing greater than being victorious in the game.
Yeah, but you're not going to see an Ohio State grad like teaching at Michigan.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to see it too often into the game on Saturday.
Dude, when you were talking about the Iron Bowl, do you not remember the last play of the Iron Bowl?
Probably not. Oh yeah, holy shit,
insane,
dude.
bro.
That shit was crazy,
dude. Take us through that play.
Just seeing it kind of register. I'm like,
you see it register for him? You see eyeballs like, oh my God. Yeah, because I was literally sitting, I was in the airport watching that, and I was like, oh my God, Auburn's going to beat Alabama. This is going to be nuts.
my wife's like, why are you so hype over this? I'm like, if you just saw these last several plays, like you guys should have had no shot.
And bro, like what, 4 or 5, how long ago was that when they returned the kick? That was Auburn though, so we're not going to bring that up. But that was insane too.
Yeah.
Like those have insane games. What was that? Like, what was that play?
It's called Grave Digger.
It's called Gravedigger?
Yeah.
That's crazy you would talk about that play, but you were talking about the 4 and 5 play against Michigan. that's wild. No, but that play though, were you just throwing up a prayer?
Yeah.
You were throwing up a prayer. You practice it. You practice situational ball games.
I threw
every
it and
single
closed
day.
my eyes. Yeah, I hope you catch it.
You look at the ball, you say,
I hope
please
you
God.
please catch it. Please catch it. Nah, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, it might sound a cliche thing, man, but like we practice that thing every single week. Like Fridays we have walkthroughs, and we're very intentional when we do the walkthroughs. And there's no talking on the sideline. There's no joking around. If you're not on the field, you're on the sideline watching. And we take those walkthroughs very seriously. We go through every scenario in the game. If we don't do it right during walkthrough, we're gonna do it all over again until we perfect it. It's literally a perfect walkthrough. And every outcome of the walkthrough, whether it was special teams, offense, defense, leaving the huddle, going, substitutions, all that. We work all that during the walkthroughs. And that's one, that play, the Gravedigger, we worked that during walkthroughs on Fridays. And, we didn't know when we were going to utilize it, when we were going to have to use it, but everyone was prepared. And it was just like the play against Michigan. That fourth down play was equivalent to that 4th and 31. When we called that play, no one was fearful of the play. No one was like, man, why coach calling that play? Everyone was like, we were all locked in. I bet this we're going to roll with. We're going to do it at the best of our ability. And so when it came to 4th and 31, it was the same as the 4th and 5 play. We just succeeded on this one.
4th and 31.
That's NFL blitz numbers. You saw
Yeah,
remember that? 1st and 30, second
Yeah.
30? Dude, but when you threw that up, what were you thinking? You covered.
I mean, yeah, just you've got to just be thinking, well, let's just see.
Nah, like,
Hey, we'll find out.
yeah. I just see the field very well, and I saw he was 1-on-1, and so I took a shot, put a great ball placement. Because if I put it anywhere else, it was gonna go either out of bounds, picked off, not in the range that we can go make a grab and beat him and allow IB to make a IB play. So I would just put it in a place where he can make a play on the ball, and I had great time. Didn't have a too strong of a pass rush, so I had enough time to make a play. So when you talk about like everyone doing their job, that's exactly what happened.
What was the emotion in the locker room after that?
That had to be insane.
I'm gonna be real, like it was crazy, but like you base it off your head coach, like.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, if head coach happy jumping around, you're going to do the same thing. Like, it was cool, but it was like, lock in, all right, we got game next week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
like, hey, it's
so
like,
Saban
boys,
was excited.
For like 15 seconds.
Saban, was like, boys,
He was happy for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm happy for you guys that you won.
Huh?
But,
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We had Georgia next week.
but we
didn't
shouldn't have been
no
in that
Auburn.
situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
There's a lot to correct on that film.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Only 4th and 31. That's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Always coaching the process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, exactly.
Not the result.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate
We do.
y'all.
This has been
Seriously,
awesome,
thank you.
man.
You've been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Appreciate you,
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate
you
you.
having fun with us.
Yeah, no doubt.
been a good
That was
time.
dope. That was dope.
Subscribe, drop comments. Thank
Rate
you,
5 stars.
Jalen. Thank you, Book. And thank you, Coach DeBoer.
Like Tyler Booker.
Yes, sir.
How we doing, sir?
I'm phenomenal. How are y'all?
I'm doing outstanding here in the great state of Alabama and in a very prestigious university with a hog. Life could not be any better for me.
With the hog.
Yeah.
Where else would you rather be?
Michigan.
Ah,
That was he's already shaking his head. That was a good one. I went to Michigan.
that was
That's
a
all
good.
right.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta live
I
through
hear
the
you
new
have
guys.
you have
What's
quite the
that?
So you gotta live through the new guys.
I do, no question.
Yeah.
When I played there.
I don't know what you
when
did
were-
there.
Yeah, when you were in middle school and I was playing, bro, we were not good. It
Yeah.
was a tough deal. out there.
Delaney, we were walking in earlier this morning. Terry's like, yeah, we whooped Alabama or whatever. I was like, yeah, but you played Alabama too, right? He's like, yeah, we got dusted.
We played in 2012 Cowboy Classic. It was like 42-14. They came out. They're like Derrick Henry didn't play. I don't think Derrick Henry was even there yet. But they had like D Hart, all these dudes.
Yeah.
And it was just a slaughter fest.
And as a Big Ten guy, I was watching that game like, you're like, come on, Michigan, let's go. Like, show them that the Big Ten's got some ball. And then you guys just go.
It was over before it even started, man. It was, but you've played a lot of different teams. You've also played in high school a bunch of 40-year-old men.
Definitely.
When you're at IMG Academy.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, bro.
Bishop
Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore. What was that? How'd that happen? How did they get that past the officials?
That's above my pay grade, but I knew something was up when I got out there. The guy was like 5'4". He wore number 27. And he had like a full beard. Yeah. I was like, okay, this is different. And then he had like, you know how you put the quarters in the machine, you get stickers out?
Yeah.
They had those on their helmets instead of decals. And I was like, okay, like we're gonna run up the score. It's whatever. Like we were in Ohio. We were there for a week, so we were just looking forward to doing that. We had a game at the next school. It's called LaSalle. That should have been the ESPN game, but everything happens for a reason because that Bishop Sycamore thing.
Did you know, like before it came out, where was it basically it came out and y'all weren't surprised at all? Or did you guys kind of know like while you're playing the game, like yo, these are grown men out here?
So I was on the way to see my family after the game. And I was going to hug my dad, and he was shaking his head. I was like, we just put up 50 on this team. What's wrong? He said, I don't know. I was listening to the ESPN broadcast, and they said, like, they can't verify any of these players. Like, they're saying it was a fake school. I was like, what? He was like, they're saying it's a fake school.
So 40-year-old men could relive a dream.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what dream they were living. I wouldn't want to get beat by high schoolers, especially by 50.
Right.
Oh, man.
I hear you have quite the relationship with our producer, JP. He was your guy back at IMG?
Yeah, that's my guy. JP, like, whatever we needed, we hit JP. It was JP, Josh, and there was two guys named Ant. So those four, like, they held us down the whole time. IMG is pretty rough. They keep you locked down. So whenever we wanted to escape, we would hit JP or one of those guys, and we'd be out all day doing whatever we wanted.
Oh, JP was your chauffeur.
Yeah, but he had fun too.
JP pulled the van.
Yeah, pull up the van, get the guys in there, and get out.
See, getting the van was the hard part because there were scheduled trips at IMG, and then like JP and all those other guys, they had a lot of trust from like the higher up. So if we could find a van, we were out.
What do you guys go do in Bradenton? Because I trained there for the combine. There is nothing there.
So there's a movie theater about down the street. There's a mall about 30 to 40 minutes away. And we would just go walk around because we're at IMG. We didn't have no time to have a job, have money. So just go people watch at the mall, and then we get something to eat. That was about it, but it was better than being stuck on campus.
Yeah. The campus is super nice, though. It's like 500 acres. It's massive.
Yeah. Talk about the IMG because I feel like it's grown so much probably since you were there, but what you just go, is that like a high school?
You just go and it's essentially all in one. Like Bradenton, Florida is like newlyweds and nearly dead. It's like their slogan. There's literally nothing to do there. Yeah. But like, but then there's all of a sudden this amazing facility where like every sport, like people literally come from all around the world to train there because it's like so nice. Everything's so high tech and beautiful. And they're like, literally when I was there, they were like, we're going to put a hospital right here. So everything's all in one. They had everything you could possibly need. And I think the football team was like just a year old or something like that. Like, yeah, we're about to have like the greatest football team, the greatest high school football team of all time. And they've really, you guys are what, number one every year? Top three?
Yeah, pretty much. And we actually won our first national championship my junior year. And it was always pretty tough because like not a lot of schools want to play us, and understandably so. We picked the best talent from all around the country. But you look at some of these other local high schools, like this kid lives 40 minutes away. This kid lives an hour away. So what's the difference between IMG, us, and y'all? So it got harder to find good teams to play, but whoever wanted to play us, we played them. I feel like modern day, that was before my time. So we always try to play them. They didn't really want to play us, but
they're out in Cali, right?
Yeah, they're out in Cali. But just having that target on your back every week is just like playing here. And I felt like that's what made this decision to come to Alabama was so easy. Just like I was at the pinnacle of high school football. Why don't I come to the pinnacle of college football?
Yeah, what was that process like for you? Because I'm sure when you go to IMG, the minute they see, oh, this kid got into IMG to play football, they're probably going to throw a scholarship your way.
Oh, for sure.
So you had everybody. Who would do like what?
I mean, he's a big boy too. Like,
yeah, no, bro. I mean, you look fantastic.
Yeah.
This dude squats the house. You could probably run like the wind. Like you're a specimen, my friend. But when you had Alabama and all these other schools, let's start with your top five. What were your top five?
My top five was Florida, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama, obviously.
Ohio State.
Was it an easy decision? Was this an easy decision for you? Did you always want to? Was it always Bama or was it close?
It was really close. I was kind of put off by Bama at first, just because they started recruiting me a little later. So like that, the back end of I always got like the simple graphics that they send everybody. I always got the little camp invites. I'm like, okay, I have better relationships with other schools. But when it was time to set up my official visits, Coach Gillespie, he's still here. He was like, hey, you coming to visit us? And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not going to visit Alabama. I'm going to go somewhere else. And
where were you thinking about going at that time?
I had a great relationship with Penn State, so I was gonna go there.
Ooh.
And I was actually gonna visit them right before everything got shut down by COVID. So I was like, I always want to visit there. Some of my homeboys were already committed, but I decided to make that my last OV, and I feel like that worked out perfectly because I was able to compare all the other schools to the standard, which is Alabama, and I saw nobody else really compared.
No one else compared?
No.
So when you came here, like, what'd y'all do for your visit?
We just we came around this facility. I hung out.
Walked around. We walked around.
Went to the mall.
Yeah, that means he had a good visit.
Yeah, he had a good visit.
He's like,
No doubt.
Kind of can't remember.
Did Penn State know you were going to commit? Did they have a good idea that you were going to, like, hey, did you tell any coaches, like, hey, I might actually come here?
So Penn State, like, I kind of took them out after I decided to visit Alabama. And it was funny, like, the day I got offered by Alabama, the Penn State coach called me. He was like, hey, are we still around? I was like, yeah, of course. But he knew it was going to happen.
He knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
What was it like walking into this building? You see all the national championship rings. You see, like, I walked into y'all's offensive line room, and there's All-American after All-American. Like, that standard is so high here. Like, what was the intimidation factor for you walking in as an 18-year-old kid?
I don't think there was an intimidation factor, just because I had already been through a lot. I've already seen this kind of environment on lower levels. So just taking you through my football journey. I was born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut. I spent my freshman year at Bergen Catholic in New Jersey just to get a higher grade of football. And then I went to IMG. So I'm used to change. I'm used to being put in the fire. So coming here, I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I was ready to embrace it.
Being an upperclassman now, what responsibilities do you feel like you take on now, being the young guy, having those years behind you, and being more of a leader in the locker room?
I feel like I stepped into that leadership role last year when Bryce and Will left. So that's something that we really focused on, spreading that the weight of leadership throughout the team. And I feel like that's why we were so much better. So being able to lead and know I have guys that have my back, like Malachi Moore, J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Jalen Milroe, all those guys, knowing that they have my back, leading as a younger guy, but still being a leader. Just going into this year, I'm trying to develop some of the other younger leaders on this team, because Alabama is only going to be as good as I leave it. You know what I mean? So just like Taylor could talk about how good Michigan is now and how they weren't that good back when he was there. Yeah. I want to be able to brag like him. So making sure I'm developing the next class. So that's why I'm very big into recruiting.
Very good. That's a good way to put it. I was a big recruiter too. It did not pay off.
Hey, you gotta respect it. He's doing a great job.
He's doing a good job.
Doing a great
Absolutely.
job.
Absolutely.
What are some of those small things you feel like, trying to mentor those younger guys? Is it being more vocal? Is it more like one-on-one time with guys? Like, what do you feel like you've been trying to develop being a leader?
Trying to balance out, like, being like in your face and then like pulling guys to the side, making sure I praise guys as much as I correct them. And that's something I was really focused on this spring, and just working with some of the younger guys. Like, you know what it's like working with a younger guy and he's making the same mistakes over and over again. It's like, all right, bro, like, you messed up on this 4 times in a row. You're obviously not paying attention. So I get on him, and then I pull him aside after and just make sure I be like, hey, are you good? Is everything good with you? Okay. So now that everything's fine, I need you to tighten it up. So just really making sure that they understand before you lead other people, you have to lead yourself in a manner that you would want them to imitate.
Where did you learn that?
IMG Academy.
IMG Academy?
Yeah,
was it guys older than you? Like,
it was guys guys older than me, but we actually had like a leadership class. Like, this is stuff that we did on a daily basis. So we had leadership sessions. It was called ADP, right, JP? Yep. It's called ADP. So there were like leadership sessions and mental training, things like that. So like something I took from mental training at IMG is like visualization. So like before every game, I put a towel over my head and I immerse myself into the game that I'm about to play. So like I think about what my gloves feel like, how tight my pads are, what it's gonna smell like, what it's gonna sound like. So like I'm really in the game, and then I just look at the script, see the play, run the play on my head, next play, and I just go through the whole script just so I essentially play the game mentally. Now I just have to go out and do it physically. So little things like that just helped me become the player I am today.
You got a good head on your shoulders,
Yeah,
brother.
he's got a solid. And like the development. You don't understand this, but the development you have right now, as far as from a mental process, is above and beyond what
Yeah, you're
most
ahead of the
guys are
game.
at right now.
Appreciate
It's
that.
very impressive. With Nick Saban, you came here. He was the head coach.
Yes.
When you heard the news that he was retiring, like, how did that affect you? Because everybody came here to play with the greatest college football coach of all time.
Of course. I was hurt. Obviously, that was my initial reaction. I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was expecting him to come in there and kind of rip us about the Michigan game. Not so much rip us, be like, hey, this is why we lost, and here's how we're going to correct it. Here's how we're going to get back there and then get further. That's what I was expecting. So for him to go up there and retire, it was really a shock to me. But I've just been embracing it because I've always been big on legacy. Like, how am I going to leave my legacy here? And I feel like there's no better way to leave my legacy than win the national championship with Coach DeBoer.
When Coach Saban does retire, does your antennas go up on thinking, hey, who's going to be the next guy in here? Maybe I hit the portal now that we're in the portal generation, the portal era. Well, what was that process like for you? Was it sitting back and kind of observing who was going to be next?
Yeah, sit back and observe. But to be honest, the portal was never an option for me, just because I have too many roots planted here as far as like my teammates and everybody in this building and then this community as well. So like I mentioned earlier, like I've been moving all around the place, all around since I was even in middle school. I didn't mention this. I went to middle school an hour and a half away. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I just been moving my whole life, and Tuscaloosa has given me the first real sense of community in my life, and I really wasn't willing to let that go.
Talk about your foundation. Like, it seems like you have good parents, good support. If you're
Definitely.
waking up at 5 a.m. and traveling to middle school and kind of jumping around high schools and then trying to get to IMG, because in their mind, your mind, these are the best moves for success to have in your future.
Yeah, my foundation is really my immediate family. So I grew up in a 2-parent household, my mom and my dad. I have a older sister and a younger brother. And then, like, just as how much I'm committed to this dream that I'm living out right now, everybody else in that house is committed to it as well, because it wasn't just them. It's me doing the physical work, but it's my mom also waking up at 5 o'clock, having to change her work schedule to pick me up from the bus stop at 4 o'clock. My dad getting off a third shift, waking up early, taking me to school sometimes, taking me to workouts. And then my brothers and sisters having to sit in the car all day waiting for those workouts to finish. So it's just the commitment to this dream by my whole family. That's what makes it so easy. And that's what makes that's my why. They're my why.
That's amazing, bro.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
From an offensive standpoint, how much has changed from Nick Saban to Coach DeBoer?
I feel like it's going to be a lot more explosive. You're going to see the ball in the air a lot more, and it's going to be like real complimentary football. So that was the goal last year, but you can see it in the way that Coach DeBoer calls his offense. So as soon as I heard that he was going to be the guy, I went back and watched the Texas game, because that's a mutual opponent that we had, and I saw how he called the game and the rhythm of which he called it, and how he helps the offensive line out. So we're not dropping back 40 to 50 times a game. We have run action, we have play action. We got power, and we're going to throw the ball out of a power set. So just how he switches things up, I'm very excited to play in this offense.
Dude, his culture too seems crazy. Like, you look at Washington last year, and they played, like, I think more than half of their games they were underdogs in, and they obviously won all but one. And it's like, to have that kind of culture of like being underdogs consistently and coming and winning. And now he comes to a place that just constantly has talent. Like, you got to think you guys are going to crush it this year.
Oh, for sure. Just his energy, just everything that he brings, like what makes him is what makes him perfect for this job. So the first thing that he told us, like, he had non-negotiables, and the first one is like, we're gonna be a family, we're gonna grow closer together. And I feel like that was the biggest improvement from my freshman year to my sophomore year. And there was a big improvement. I feel like we were a much better team, and that's why Coach Saban raves about that team and how it's one of his favorites, just because of how close we were during the offseason and how close we grew together during the season when times were tough. Like, our USF game was ugly, but instead of turning on each other and pointing a finger, we all decided to come together and be like, look, let's put our egos aside and understand how great we can be. And we did that. And from there on, we just took off.
What wrinkles do you feel like Coach DeBoer has brought to Alabama from Washington? Give back into the wrinkles he's brought, because we talked about him bringing up the music and everything else. What are a couple things that he's brought from Washington?
So music and practice, and then like music before meetings too. So I remember, like, it was his second meeting here, And I walk in and they got little baby playing. I'm like, what is going on? Just coming from Coach Saban where everybody walks in. So it's funny. There was this big whiteboard and there was a little space so you can see Coach Saban's size 6 loafers walking in. So everybody goes shh, 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 shh. To now Coach DeBoer like, hey, Coach, how's everybody doing? So it's just the coach is different.
Yeah, it sounds like a polar opposite type of situation. Size 6 loafer starts squeaking by the door. Everyone gets scared. I thought you legit. I was like, oh shit, that is a bit of a deal. How is from the blocking scheme standpoint? Is it different?
No, it's pretty much the same. So I feel like the biggest difference this year is going to be like the cadence of the play calls because up front, things are called differently. Just because every offensive line coach has a weird way of calling stuff, but it's the same. It's still the same. Inside zone, outside zone.
Mm-hmm. Y'all do the thing where you look at the board and then you look back and you go. Or is somebody calling something?
No, we so since they have the mics and the headphones this year, we're just gonna be doing a little sugar huddle and getting straight to the ball.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because
they have mic in everybody's helmet?
No, not everybody, just the quarterback.
Just the quarterback?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is a great move.
Yeah, certain schools picked up on those boards, so we thought it wouldn't be a good idea to do that anymore. So.
Certain schools.
This guy.
Yes, hey, certain schools picked up on some things now. He came ready.
See him being nasty? I'm not being nasty. I am in a big way outnumbered here.
Speaking of that, though, you do give some good juicy quotes with the media. I'm gonna quote what you said, and I want you to go into this mentality.
Okay.
We want to physically dominate you. We want to intimidate you. We want the third quarter to roll around and the defense to be like, oh my gosh, we can't stop the run. How are we going to stop this run? We want to physically impose our will. Talk about cultivating that mentality and being confident enough to speak on it like that, especially to the media.
So that quote was really just me challenging myself and the rest of the offensive linemen to be like, hey, like I put this president out here. We have to go live up to it. And Taylor can tell you that's every offensive lineman's creed. Like you want to go out and do that. We were just bold enough to go out and say it. Like I said it, JC said it. So like we were just making ourselves live up to that standard of playing offensive line like that. And that's how Alabama has been so successful in the past. They just had a dominant offensive line.
Do you have a favorite post-game meal?
Favorite
ritual?
Yeah. I have a favorite post-game ritual. So whenever we're home, they have buses driving back here to the facility. But I like to walk. I like to walk back just so like all the fans who came to the game, like I can interact with the fans. You know, like some people spend their last to come to an Alabama football game. And I know this 30-second interaction I can have with some family is going to last them 30 years. Like, they're never going to forget that interaction I have with them after the game. So I just love walking back.
JP, I see why you like this cat.
Incredible, dude.
I see why you like this cat. Yeah.
Unreal.
I was gassing you up some before.
He was
Appreciate
gassing. He's like, hey, we got to get Book on. Like, he'd be great.
When you're walking back from one of those games, how long does it take you to get back to the stadium or get back to the facility?
So
3/4 of a mile.
it doesn't take that. I probably say, because I'm stopping and signing stuff and talking to people as well.
Yeah.
So like probably say it takes like 15, 20 minutes. Like after the spring game, it was wild because it was a free game. So many people were there. It got to the point I was like, look, guys, I'll walk and take pictures, but like we just gotta walk because I still have my knee braces on. It was a spring game. So I still have my knee braces on, I still have my cleats on. I was like, man, I gotta get back.
You walking back like that?
Yeah, I was. I just love doing that. And then I get to like talk to my family after too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just love being around there. I feel like that's my favorite part about being at Alabama, that community and that family.
With NIL, is the offensive line like as a group sponsored by anybody?
Not yet, but we're open.
Business is open.
Yeah, we did the beef jerky. That did pretty well. We're gonna try to boost that up, but we're looking for other stuff too.
What do you feel like sets this culture apart from everywhere else?
The standards of excellence. You have guys that you have alum that will come back here and tell us like this is what the standard is, and they're alum that work in the building. So you're always being reminded of what the past was like and how you have to live up to that. And it's not we don't see it as pressure. We see it as a challenge, and we want to create our own legacy here. Like we want this team to have its own legacy here, just like how their team had a legacy here.
And so many teams have had a legacy here.
I know, right?
There's so many NFL guys that went to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Of all those guys that are still in the league, who's one dude you'd want to play with?
One dude that I want to play with, probably Evan Neal. And just because he's an IMG guy, we had a very similar path. He was at IMG for 3 years. he's in New York right now, so that's close to home for me. So just playing with him, and then I pick his brain every now and then as well. So just having that relationship with him and just looking up to him, like I really look up to him.
What do you like when you pick his brain? What does he tell you about the NFL compared to college?
He talks about the speed of the game and how it becomes even more of a business. So you just have to be prepared for that and just make sure you have everything in order before you get there, so nothing catches you off guard.
With everything you've experienced, with the support of your parents, going to IMG, taking leadership courses, mental courses, visualization, all of that stuff, and being at a place like Alabama, in your opinion, what qualities make a good leader?
Never ask anybody to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. And I learned that before I even was at IMG. I learned that from Coach Nunzio Campanelli. He was at Bergen Catholic. So he recruited me to go to Bergen Catholic, and then I think he took a job at Rutgers. He might be at Syracuse right now, but that has always stuck with me, just about being a leader. Like, how am I going to ask my center to do something that I'm not doing myself? Like, how am I going to tell him to play harder and I'm not even playing at my hardest? So just like, because you're holding yourself to that standard, and people are going to follow.
Love that.
Do you read books on leadership at all?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, what you into right now?
I'm reading a book by Tony Dungy. I forget the name of it. I just started it.
Yeah.
But just meeting him, I actually met him at my official visit in Oregon. So then he's just a legendary coach, and my dad's a huge football fanatic. So just meeting him and just getting into that book is really
Is it the one where he's transitioning to Tampa Bay?
No, it's called Uncommon. That's the name of the book.
Okay.
Uncommon.
I know he's got a couple.
Yeah.
Does your family still live up north?
They do.
How often do they make it down?
All the time.
Yeah.
So my little brother, he's playing football right now. So my parents will alternate weeks so somebody will stay for his game and somebody will come out here. But we make it work, and that's the thing about us. So I don't think I mentioned this earlier. My dad and I used to come here for the Alabama football camps and Nick Saban football camps when I was in middle school. So we've always been committed to the dream, no matter what it took. So they're always
amazing,
here.
man.
Always been committed to the dream.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I don't think I've ever met a kid that's in college. I mean, you're not a kid, you're an adult, but a guy in college that has had a head on their shoulders like you do.
Appreciate
Like you seem like you've really
It
got
could be
dialed
smoke
in.
screens. You know what I mean?
Could be
He could be
completely-
great
yeah,
in front
could
of
be
a camera.
one of the worst
You know what I
guys.
mean?
Yeah. But you can believe, like, if a scout finds
No
this,
doubt.
they're going to look at this and be like, hey, we don't have to, character,
And no
not
need
a
to
problem.
interview 'em.
Leadership, not a problem. Like, you're going to have an easy combine.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
That's awesome. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I
having
got
me.
one more question for you.
Gotcha.
At IMG, what's your favorite soccer field? Thank you, guys. Make sure you subscribe, leave
5
comments.
stars.
Yeah, rate 5 stars.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bug, man, for coming on.
Appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.